Hi guys, welcome to first screencast 2018. We've now moved on to the respiratory system. So far we've looked at the muscular system, skeletal system and the cardiovascular system, and now we're at the respiratory system. What we need to know about the respiratory system are all the values and what takes place at rest, during exercise, as well as during recovery. Now today we're going to be looking at the mechanics of breathing, the importance of breathing and how this may affect our sporting performance. So when we're talking about breathing in, we're talking about inspiration. When we're talking about breathing out, we're talking about expiration. Once we've done the mechanics of breathing, we'll go on to gaseous exchange and what actually takes place with regards to gaseous exchange and where it takes place. So first of all, before we start, I just want to go through the structure of the respiratory system, just so you have a bit more detail and knowledge of the respiratory system before we actually start talking about mechanics of it. So air is drawn in to the nasal cavity through the nose and travels down the pharynx, larynx and trachea. So you've got all of this takes place here. So you breathe in and it comes down here. Here's trachea. The trachea divides and splits into two, left and right, and these are bronchi. These bronchi further divide into bronchioles. Now at the end of these branches, these bronchioles, you have these kind of grape-like clusters. These known as alveoli. This is where gaseous exchange takes place, and as I said, this will be discussed later on throughout this topic. So that's kind of like a brief overview of the structure of the respiratory system. So you can do further research if you want, it's just you need to know this is what we're going to be discussing in the next couple of lessons. So you also need to know the thoracic cavity. So when we're talking about the thoracic cavity, this is what we are talking about. Everything that is made up in here. So the lungs are situated in the thoracic cavity and they are encased by this pulmonary pleura. Now the job of this is to lubricate, and it reduces friction during inspiration and expiration. Okay, so as the rib cage expands, this pulmonary pleura is going to reduce friction. So right lung, left lung, pulmonary pleura, got the diaphragm, which is a muscle which aids and helps with inspiration and expiration, as well as the intercostal muscles. Now we have two types of intercostal muscles. We have internal intercostal muscles and external intercostal muscles. Okay, just so you were aware of that before we start talking about the actual topic. The orange structures that you see, they are our ribs, and in between our ribs are our intercostal muscles. So when we're talking about mechanics of breathing, first of all, we're going to discuss the mechanics of breathing at rest. So, with regards to movement, muscles are always required so that we can make a movement. For example, our biceps brachii, our triceps brachii, and our pectoralis minor, pectoralis major, they are involved. If we want to move our arm, they will have to contract to make that happen. That is the same when it comes to breathing in and breathing out. So you've got the diaphragm and intercostal muscles. First of all, what we're going to discuss is the ribs. So what I want you to do is put your hands on your ribs and take a big breath in. So inspiration. So as you can feel, your ribs move up and out. From this is because the diaphragm contracts and flattens. So if we go back to the diaphragm, or the picture, sorry, this here will contract and flatten down, okay. That contracts and flattens. The intercostal muscles, specifically the external intercostal muscles, contract, which aid and help our ribs moving up and out. When this happens, our thoracic cavity volume increases, so there is more space within that thoracic cavity. We have loads of space now. Due to this, the thoracic cavity pressure decreases. So pressure decreases, which means that air rushes into the lungs because gases go from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration, low pressure. So air will rush into the lungs. That is inspiration. Okay, so when you take a big breath in, this is the mechanics of it. This is how it happens. Now, during expiration, it's pretty much the opposite. Apart from the intercostal muscles, is still the external intercostal muscles. So the diaphragm relaxes and moves back up. The intercostal muscles, the external intercostal muscles, they relax. So they don't do anything, they just relax. Now, it's not the internal intercostal muscles, okay? So do not get confused there. The intercostal muscles, external intercostal muscles just relax. The ribs obviously move down and in. Thoracic cavity volume decreases because there's less volume, there's less room there, which means thoracic cavity pressure increases, which means air rushes out of the lungs because gases go from an area of high concentration, high pressure to low. So that is the mechanics of breathing at rest. In our lesson, we are going to be going over this. We're also going to be looking at mechanics of breathing during exercise, both inspiration and expiration as well. So make sure you do some good, decent cornell notes on this. We've been doing it long enough now that we should really be getting some good quality questioning with this to really help you hone in and remember this stuff. So I'll see you in tomorrow's lesson. Thank you. Bye.